Manny Pacquiao, do something, please. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Renee Box Young, a platform where we discuss, critique, analyze, simply talk about the sport of boxing because we love it, definitely. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, tuning into the videos, commenting in the comment sections. I really appreciate each and every one of you subscribers since day one. Thank you so much. Recent subscribers, welcome to Renee Box Young. I appreciate each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get to this, Pacquiao, man, he has to do something, man. First and foremost, I have to express my appreciation, deep appreciation, towards Manny Pacquiao. He has done so much in the career of the sport of boxing and more. His accolades, everyone knows the story. Everyone knows the story. I mean, I got to definitely, put that forth first. And outside the ring, everything he's doing outside the ring as a politic, doing great humanitarian deeds. He's an amazing man, a man of integrity. A lot of people may say this and that about him, whatever, right? But I'm just speaking from my point of view, you know what I mean? Wonderful family. He's just a great role model, you know what I mean? But he has to do something, okay? What am I talking about? Let's get right to this, okay? You already know. Those are the rankings, but I'm going to get to that in a moment. Right here we got boxing scene. World Boxing News. My fault. worldboxingnews.net. And you can also check here box.live, the rankings. And we're going to check something out here, MMAfighting.com. Links in the description. Check it out. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, right here. It says here, Errol Spence 3-belt unification possible as Manny Pacquiao moves on. Okay, I want to show you something, okay? So we see here that, let's get to the article here. It says, The Truth had wanted to battle Pacquiao in a unification with promoter Al Heyman, okay, arranging an in-ring meeting with between the pair after one of Spence's recent bouts. If I'm not mistaken, that's referring to Danny Garcia's, versus Spence bout. I made a video on that very day of the fight, Saturday, talking about news that Pacquiao's team, his people wanted to have a meeting to arrange a Spence fight. Okay, despite being pictured together and discussing the fight, Pacquiao moves on to a lucrative pay-per-view opposite the former MMA champion. Okay, now let me get to this real fast. All right, well, we'll go to another article right here, MMAfighting.com. I want to show you and break this down because it's important information. All right, so we can be in the know over this. So we hear Dana White is saying this about McGregor. He's saying, quote, "The way that this kid is right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, I mean, this kid is on and ready to fight." White told ESPN, "I would love to see him focused on what he can do here in UFC at the UFC." Okay, so whether it's take another shot at that title against Khabib is retired, last I heard, whatever, right? Or fight for the title against somebody else if Khabib retires and defend that title. So he continues to say, a boxing match with any of these guys, that stuff's always going to be there. You are the absolute best in the world right now in MMA, and the timing is right now. Not getting any younger. I'd love to see him go for it here over the next year. If he wants to fight one of these boxing guys, do that next year. That fight's always going to be there, okay? So, blah, 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 and it continues, whatever, right? So I mean, Dana White is expressing what he feels concerning Conor McGregor. Everybody knows that, there were talks, Pacquiao expressing interest in fighting Conor McGregor. Obviously, it's for the money grab. We know that. But it looks like, Dana White is going to probably pressure Conor McGregor sooner or later just to focus on MMA, not boxing right now. And we know that, Dana White's interest is to make more revenue off of McGregor. I mean, McGregor's his product. I mean, he's, bringing in millions, dishing out millions, making millions from McGregor. McGregor is Dana White's cash cow, one of his cash cows, I guess. I really don't follow MMA, but I mean, I'm sure that's pretty obvious. Okay, so Dana White is speaking for his interests, but it's interesting, it may be that, Conor McGregor might focus a little bit more on the MMA for now. It's possible, okay? So let's just get right back to this, and I want to show this to you, okay? Let me get right back here. So we're back in worldboxingnews.net. Let's continue in this article. So it may be, you see what I'm saying here? It may be that Pacquiao versus McGregor might not happen next or soon, okay? And it says here, the situation leaves. Check this out, guys. It says the situation, I'm sorry about that. Let me just turn this down a little bit. All right, so it says, It's because I'm listening to music in the background. I can turn it down here. So the situation leaves the World Boxing WBA with a decision to make. Check us out. Regarding Pacquiao's WA title. So the belt he took from Keith Thurman in 2019, all right? By July this year, when Pacquiao versus McGregor is likely, I'm not so sure of that because of what I just read, okay? So what we just read, it will be 2 years without a single defense of his super version of the welterweight crown, okay? So, I mean, in other words, ladies and gentlemen, Pacquiao, he's no title defense. It's been almost about a year and a half up to now, since he fought Thurman, great victory. The sport of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, is a sport where you have to be active. You got to be active. We're at a time right now where people want to see fights and people want to see fighters active. That's what we want to see in the sport of boxing. I think it's enough of these fighters just fighting once a year. It's enough of that. I think fans in the community of boxing demand that and have been demanding that. Fighters have to be active. Canelo, what is he planning? 3 times a year? I understand, his opponents and things of that nature, but hey, credit to Canelo. He's fighting. He's being active, you know what I'm saying? In that respect, so Pacquiao especially. I made a video some time ago, man, saying that he has to hang up the gloves. The time is ticking, ladies and gentlemen. In the sport of boxing, the time is ticking. You got to be active. We got to forget now about a fighter coming in, like Keith Thurman. Who really is talking about Keith Thurman? Everyone's talking about him with his hairdo, cutting his hair. Wonderful for him. That's great, beautiful, whatever. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, man, Keith Thurman, I understand he's still a name, but he hasn't done anything lately, man. Last fight he has had was against Pacquiao. He lost. What's next? Nothing really. You see what I mean? You got to be active in the sport of boxing. So Pacquiao has to do something. Referring to what I was saying a moment ago, I made a video some time ago talking about he should retire because he's getting older, man. Father time is ticking. The coronavirus hit. I mean, he's really been inactive when it comes to the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And let's continue to get here, okay? So it says here the WBA could act before then, okay? Before him supposedly fighting McGregor, which is still possible. I'm not saying it isn't, but Dana White is expressing his viewpoint, who is McGregor's manager. So whatever. Okay, so not to strip Pacquiao into detrimental terms, okay, but to elevate Ugas to full ruler position by dissolving the super, quote unquote, right, belt due to lack of activity. There you go. So Ugas would then be the only recognized title holder, check it out, guys, at 147 pounds under the jurisdiction of the WBA. Okay, interesting stuff, isn't it? So it says, after a recent admission by Spence, Ugas is a reliable option for his next outing. Nice stuff. With both being under Heyman's premier PBC, okay, yeah, that even becomes a distinct possibility. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like the tables can turn, you know what I'm saying? If Pacquiao's going to be sitting around doing nothing, sitting here, thinking about fighting McGregor, which I think I can care, I can care less about that, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no Pacquiao versus McGregor. That's just a money grab for Pacquiao. I get it. That's great for him. More power to him with the money. But like I said, as a boxing fan, I want to see Pacquiao active, man. What are you going to do next, man? You got to do something. Time is ticking. It's been a while, a year and a half, without even a title defense of that WBA strap. So, Spence is there. He's knocking on the door. What's going on? Do something, Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like, that's the thing. If you're just going to sit there doing nothing, what's going to happen? The WBA is going to strip you or things are going to change. You know what I'm saying? So Ugas looks like a possible option now for Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? And Spence, man, he has options. That's the wonderful thing about Spence right now, man. He has options, and I personally think, to a certain extent, I guess we can say that. I think that if the WBA decides to do this and putting Ugas as the owner of the belt, whatever the heck, whatever, you read the article, you can check it out. I think it would be easier for Spence to get a title now, that WBA. I think Ugas would be a little bit easier than Pacquiao. That's my personal humble opinion. Later on down the road, I'll break it down if the fight is official between Spence and Ugas, and I'll explain why. But the point of this video, ladies and gentlemen, is that Pacquiao has to do something. I mean, this is what it's unfavorable in my humble opinion when it comes to a fighter just being inactive. Coming once, fighting, and then disappearing for a year and a half. I mean, it's just Pacquiao, do something. Either fight, Spence, forget McGregor, who cares? I can care less about that, you know what I'm saying? Or just retire, man. The time's ticking. He's well in his higher years concerning the sport of boxing, And, he can focus on, I said this before, focus on your family, man. Focus on your wife, beautiful wife, beautiful kids, wonderful stuff, being a politic. He's just so busy in his life, you know what I'm saying? Just go and focus on something. If you're not going to fight Spence, I think it's just, it's time. So we'll see what's happening, man. What do you guys think, ladies and gentlemen? You know what I'm saying? Comment in the comment section, please. What do you think? Do you think he should do something? Do you think, or should he just continue sitting by idly waiting for McGregor? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Go and fight Spence and go do it. It's time, because he's not getting younger, ladies and gentlemen. Who's to say ever since he fought Thurman, if he has declined? A year and a half is a lot, ladies and gentlemen. A year and a half is a lot of time for a fighter, especially in Pacquiao's age. Yeah, I know a lot of people can say, oh yeah, he fought great against Thurman. Yeah, we know that. But that was a year and a half ago, ladies and gentlemen, approximately. That was almost a year and a half ago. What is he gonna do? It doesn't mean he's gonna be in that A game when he fights Spence, because he's just waiting around. You see him? Like I said, all due respect to Pacquiao, is a great guy, you know what I'm saying? Great fighter. Proved more than enough in his career. Amazing accolades, but he has to do something. He has to definitely do something, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't think McGregor's the ideal thing. For him it is, that's fine. But for the strap, what's going on with that WBA? And the WBA is saying, you know what, I think it's time to move on. We can't just be sitting here waiting for Pac-Man. It's been long enough. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate this. A year and a half without defending your title? Okay, let me just get back real quick to this, what I was going to say about the rankings. So it looks like what they want to do here, I hope you can see that. There we go, yeah. So we have here in the WBA, there's Manny Pacquiao there for the Super World, whatever they call it, right? Super Champion, whatever. I don't get too much details with that. But we got here also Ugas WBA, World Champion, regular, whatever they want to call it. But they're talking about having Ugas, the name of WBA as far as, welterweight division right there. So it looks like they're going to probably move him up here or something along those lines. So, I don't know. I can care less about those complicated sanctioning bodies and the crazy decisions they do, whatever. But, you can check it out and check the details. I just wanted to show you the rankings so you can see visually what's going on and what the WBA possibly plans to do. So, yeah, man. And I've been saying this. Pacquiao has to do something. Whether retire or fight someone. Come on. The time's ticking. So, again, share, like, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Comment in the comment section. What should Pacquiao do? He got to do something. Thank you so much, man. Peace out, fam. Stay safe.